Gary?
Where are you?
Next Wednesday,
I'm the boss, only because of affirmative action.
you're in for a shocking night because the truth
I'm gonna have my man fire you.
Your man.
may finally be revealed.
This is an SOS.
I can explain everything.
This better be good.
Andy, there's something I need to tell you.
Tyler Perry's Sistas, all new next Wednesday at 9. What?
Okay, Sistas fans, you just saw the trailer for Season 8, Episode 8, entitled Appearances. Andy's loyalty is questioned following Gary's recovery. Now, we know the loyalty is going to be put into question by Hudson and, of course, Penelope, who randomly shows up, and maybe even Gary himself. Karen and Danny confront their views on love and past relationship struggles. Okay. I'm not sure about Karen. I mean, in the promo, we see Danny, but I don't believe Karen was in the trailer at all. Zach and Fatima team up for a covert mission. All right, so folks, this will be the first episode for the month of December as we get closer to the mid-season finale. And episode 7 wasn't bad. I thought it was okay. It's just that, the big debate of, is BET releasing way too many sneak peeks? Because let's be real, by the time the episode comes on, if you watch all the sneak peeks, we will have watched probably over 30% of the episode itself, because some of those sneak peeks range between like 2 to 4 minutes. And if you combine them, that's a huge chunk of a 40-minute episode, minus the recap, theme song, and credit/in promo for the following week's episode, which makes watching the episode kind of meh, because I know I can, turn my attention elsewhere for a good 5 minutes. Oh, I saw that sneak peek on Monday. I don't need to watch this scene. All right, but in any case, yeah, so appearances. And speaking of appearances, I'm glad to have you here on the channel. And I'm here talking about Tyler Perry stuff, so if you enjoy the content, make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit subscribe because, well, we're getting closer to 300,000 subscribers. Follow me on social media. All those links and all that good stuff is in the description box below. And hit the bell icon and select all. That way you do not miss out whenever I post content on the channel. So let's jump in. I want to talk about the Zach and Fatima stuff first. So it looks like, well, for one, we're fine. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's start off with this. This episode finally moves things to the next day. Yes, the next day, as in we're seeing the characters in different clothing. But yeah, we pick up where we left off at night, and we're over at Zach and Fatima's place. And to be honest, it looks like a vulnerable position. Like, Fatima's about to tell Zach some important news. Obviously, we know what it is, but based on the camera angles and Zach's emotional face, you would think that she's about to go, Zach, we're pregnant. But no, we know that she had been holding on to what Robin had told her at work. And she was, said, hey, take the rest of the day off, consider my offer, and we'll go from there. So Zach is then freaking out. Jail. We go into jail because, remember, Robin has the photos and the gun. Basically, he gave Fatima her gun back, but, he has a PI, private investigator, whatever. And that's how we got the photos and whatnot and the gun from Fatima's encounter with Gary. Because, like I said, people were asking, like, how does it make sense he has that? Well, Robin being Robin, I believe he really was in the UK, but he probably has some moles and other people around keeping tabs on everything while he's been gone. And that's exactly what happened. So what's happening in this scenario is, hey, Fatima, the right thing to do would be to turn this stuff over to the feds, because my job is to protect Andy, and make sure my client isn't put into a position where she's found guilty of a crime she didn't commit. That doesn't include protecting her friends, aka you. That's cold, but at the same time, that's how it is. And let's keep in mind here, Fatima didn't bite her tongue when it came to, accusing Robin. So just saying. But now Zach knows this news and it's like, oh man, what's we gonna do? Oh, I'm sorry, I made him sound like a slave. I'm sorry about that, Zachary Taylor. But he's like, oh man, what we gonna do? Jail. We're going to jail. We're going to jail. And I'm thinking to myself, well, Zach, this is Fatima's fault. And look, the Fatima fans are ready to, tie me up and just have me swinging from tree upside down like a piñata to beat me with the negative comments due to the fact that I dare speak about their queen Fatima. This is her fault because 1, she was the one that went over there to confront Gary. 2, she was the one to, tell Zach, hey, take this bag. We're going to the wedding venue. What happened to keep your hands clean in situations like this and getting other people to do your dirty work? Now, Zach is compromised because he went to the venue with Fatima. If not, then it would just be Fatima in the hot seat. So there we go. But we know Zach would go down for Fatima anyway if he, felt it was required. So from there, we go over to the hospital. And Andy shows up because Gary, remember the cliffhanger was Gary was on the phone asking Andy where she was. And he's most likely asked her to come down. So Andy gets there, and of course, she is confronted by Hudson. I'm guessing this is the next day, though. And Hudson is obviously all up in her face and everything. It's like, look, you're Gary's employee, not his keeper, and I don't have to prove my feelings for him to you. And then obviously he must say something to the point where it pisses Andy off, so she slaps the heck out of him. Honestly, he deserves it because remember, he had grabbed her like, 2 or 3 times in a previous episode. And she's like, I'm going to have my man fire you. And then Penelope shows up out of nowhere just saying, wait, oh, your man? And then Andy must have a moment where Hudson is probably not around. She goes, look, I can explain everything. And she's like, look, this better be good. So then we know eventually Andy goes into the hospital room and Dr. Reed is talking to Hudson saying, look, your friend, Mr. Borders, is quite the resilient patient. And then she's like, you know what else is resilient? Cockroaches. So it looks like Hudson is in the hospital room along with Andy and Gary. So he says something to the effect of, Andy, there's something I need to tell you. Hopefully he says who stabbed him. That would actually be good to know. Hopefully we get that revelation. I'm not holding my breath, but hey, just saying. So aside from that, Andy eventually makes her way back to the penthouse and she's having a conversation with Fatima, who says that, she basically reveals the fact that Robin gave her caseload over to Hayden and she's shocked by this. Now we go over to Danny's house. She's having an SOS therapy session with Kresha, who's asking what's going on. And she's like, I think I'm losing my man and my mind. Well, Danny, to be fair, obviously you are losing your man because of your own actions. Now, given the fact that she's saying I'm losing my man, perhaps things didn't go as well as she thought. Because remember, she went over to the penthouse and was like, Andy, look, I got some, booty clapping that's about to take place in my house. So can we make this quick? So it seems to me that by the time she gets home and talks to Tony, maybe things aren't as hot and ready like a Little Caesars pizza like she thought it'd be. Maybe they just have a discussion. I don't know. But she's opening up to Kresha. But like I said, if you look at how she's been acting lately, and I am not defending Tony signing her up for that program without her consent. He was wrong for that, even though his intentions were good. But the fact that Danny has been acting like a grown-ass child. It's just weird. It's just like, it would be a huge turnoff to any man. So, in terms of her mind, let's not forget, her drinking and smoking all the time. That's not really been helping. So maybe she's like, hey, I'm regressing. It's like all the progress he made is falling apart. So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens with that. I'm still not sure about Karen confronting their views on love and past relationship struggles, though. I really don't know where that's going. Who is she going to talk to about that? And then the final scene takes place at the bank, and Paige, man, you know what's funny? Because in the Oval trailer, we saw that Hunter, the side of his face was bloody, and I'm like, oh, that kind of foreshadowed the whole Trump getting shot at that one campaign rally, and then his face got bloody on the side. You got Paige talking about like, well, let's see how far or how much further you'll get in your career once things like affirmative action and diversity inclusion are, eliminated. And Maurice is like, Sabrina, please allow me to drag her. Because Sabrina's like, well, I'm the boss. And wasn't it just recently that it was announced that, a bunch of companies like Walmart, just to name one of many, 'cause I was talking to my mom about it yesterday, several companies are, mentioning that they are getting rid of like the diversity inclusion factor in terms of their hiring. And I'm just thinking like, yo, this is wild. Tyler Perry does it. Well, in this case, the writer's room just implementing real world stuff into the script. And yes, I am well aware season 8 was written and filmed far in advance from the, election results and this, that, and the third. But it's just wild to think about. So yeah, Paige deserves to get dragged for that, but whatever. And that's pretty much it. So folks, that is the trailer breakdown for episode 8. Please show the video love by commenting and liking. It really helps it in the algorithm. And with that being said, I will catch you all in the next video.